Hello there.
So as you guys can see, I'm recording my third Boardwalk Empire reaction today by the clothing. I've recorded episode 2 and 3 today, and episode 2 and 3 is being uploaded with episode 1 as a triple upload. However, I'm spreading them out throughout the day. So at this moment in time, episode 3 is being uploaded onto YouTube. So yeah, by the time I finish this episode, that would be all done, and then I'll get the episode up and ready with the thumbnail and everything. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the Boardwalk Empire reactions, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm recording my third episode today. This one is to having the tuck ready for tomorrow and the day after. What's going on, guys? My name is Elie Moses, a 24-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia, absolutely shooting his shot. And today we are up to episode 4 of Boardwalk Empire season 2, titled "What Does the Bee Do?" We're gonna get into the reaction. We're gonna have some fun with this thing. Let's absolutely smash it. Let's go. You know what? I'm just gonna kick back and enjoy this one. I'm gonna slouch in my gaming chair. Similar to how Jimmy was at the end of last episode, I'm slouching. I don't care.
Barely moving here.
You got your friends at the Coast Guard to thank for that. 3 ships worth of booze. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Canadian Club.
Hey, Canadian Club.
His eyes out.
On Nucky Thompson's shoulder. What happened with you and Nucky anyway?
Don't like not knowing what's going on.
That's what makes it exciting.
Yo, Gillian.
You could have married me.
Had a city to run.
I understand. I always have.
See, this is that 13-year-old girl, dare I say it, entertaining other men.
Aren't we?
She never fully, I feel like, evolved from that.
I can't tell you what it means to us.
But she didn't get the chance to!
After all this time. She turned him into a stag. He tried to run away.
So the Commodore's in
but
his
own
60s now.
hands Tore him to
I think so.
pieces.
Get your ass over here.
There for the righteous punishment of the gods.
There's only one God, ma'am. And you're gonna feel his wrath in this life or the next.
Lewis. Lewis. Lewis.
Yo, is he having a seizure?
Lewis.
What does the bee do? Bring home honey. What
Is that the
does
first time
honey
she's
do?
called him
Bring
Lewis as well?
home Money.
Will you be breakfasting, Mr. Thompson?
I will not, nor will I be dinnering. It's Ed Bader's birthday. Did I not mention that?
Oh, the mayor's birthday.
I take it there'll be a party.
Something small. Make him feel important. A meal in
Something
his honor,
small.
Well, be sure not to overindulge. Mr. Slater.
maybe. Good day, everyone. Top of the morning. Isn't that what your people say?
And we also fix shoes if you leave them outside your door.
Surely it isn't that funny. His
Yo, I
Mr.
don't.
Slater will be driving me now.
If the maid
all I
wants
can
to
do is
have a
fix the place side of the
relationship,
road.
who cares?
I'll be right out.
Sir.
He has every right to date Mr. Slater.
Okay.
A bit cheeky, isn't he?
What's that mean again?
Impertinent.
He's serving a purpose.
May I ask what that is?
You may, and I may not answer.
That's crazy how she's saying
Weekly
cheeky
expenses.
and Nucky doesn't know what it
There's a
means.
little
And like,
extra for the staff.
that's a term my family and I use like so much.
Let them know they're appreciated.
This is no time to be frivolous with money.
Or just that
It's
time
$2
society was
extra
getting
apiece.
used
It
to
makes no
cultural
difference to
mixes.
us, but to them it's a windfall.
You do realize they steal from us. It's what servants do.
It's what everyone does, and we pretend not to know when life goes on.
No one gave me a bonus when I was in service.
All the more reason to be generous now.
Just stay in their good books,
Nearly
but
out
I
of shaving
think
soap.
they could be talking, so like who knows? Who knows with the servants? I still don't know. I can't get a read on them.
Any more than Meg?
You've had nearly half a dozen already, Albert.
My guy hungry, man.
Daddy!
Yeah, my sweet pea.
Oh, he got a daughter too.
When did you get home?
Oh, another
Short bedtime. Crept in like the Sandman.
cheaper, but it does it again.
My homework.
You're asking Daddy?
Your mama do that for you. Brother know I'm too strict.
Yo,
Say so?
he Roman Pierce in Fast and Furious. We hungry, all right? He got out of it. He met Bale. He coming home to eat good. Now, obviously this episode is titled "What Does the Bee Do?" And I love when they use animal analogies or like any creature analogies in shows to depict the characters. If it's done right, sometimes it can be forced. And I feel like Sopranos did it fantastic, obviously with Pio Mai the horse, and obviously you had the ducks, a real prominent, motif throughout the entire series. Breaking Bad had its own episode, Fly, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that episode, and I enjoyed it at the time anyway. A lot of people seem to enjoy that episode, or are starting to realize that it's much better than originally anticipated when it first aired. Now, obviously, bees do what the little girl was saying, Margaret's daughter, bees bring home the honey. Now, I initially thought to myself, is that Nucky? Is Nucky the bee coming home, providing for his family, bringing home the honey? Now, that could very well mean Nucky, but I thought to myself, no, there are various other characters in the show attempting to provide for their families. So like there could be various bees. They could it's a hive of bees, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously you got Chalky White himself. He's providing for his family. Eli provides for his family. And yeah, I feel like maybe the characters themselves, or a lot of the characters themselves in this show, are bees themselves. And what else do bees do? They sting, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that I feel like has a double meaning possibly with the backstabbing that's going on in the background. And I know I compared it to Julius Caesar and the Ides of March, with it being your own. And that could make sense because you saw the Commodore in episodes 2 and 3. He had that council, man. He had that council assembled in his estate. So yeah, like I said, it really do be your own. But bees sting, ladies and gentlemen, when you least expect it. And I feel like that's what's going on here. And that's what's eventually going to happen. And it's going to be chaos. I feel like the beehive is going to be broken and it's going to be chaos. They're all going to unleash. They're all going to unleash on one another.
I'm with your father.
You know who bring home the bacon?
The bacon. Another one for the honey.
Did you ask him, Mother?
Ask me what?
Mama invited Sammy over for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, is that the BF?
Did she now?
We did discuss this. If a young lady is being courted, it needs to be in a respectable manner.
Please.
To
Please.
study medicine.
Please. Please let me have Chalky White
Educated buck.
interrogate his daughter to be's boyfriend.
I suppose it'll be all right.
Sorry, his daughter's to be boyfriend.
All the fixings. I've been craving hopping jaws since the moon was blue.
Oh, I need to see that scene. I need to see that Bad Boys 2 1920s version with Chalky White. Come on, man. We gonna have Reggie come over. We have Chalky White up in the door. The fuck going on? Why the fuck are you look dirty?
I'm here for Jimmy.
I thought he was with you.
This business with Nucky. I saw him on the boardwalk. He wouldn't even look at me.
They showed the artwork. Richard's going to compliment the artwork. He's going to be interested by it. Jimmy doesn't show interest, and then Angela's going to have feelings for Richard, and he's going to show
Very bold.
some curiosity. There we go. There we go.
Feeble attempt at expressionism.
She's a good artist, to be fair.
That was an artist I saw in Paris. He does cityscapes. Very stark. No people.
De Carico.
I don't know.
He also did figures who looked like mannequins.
I used to draw when I was a child. It was very relaxing.
It can be. Can also be maddening. It took me years to be able to draw hands.
He looking into her eyes, and she's looking into his eye, and
A stroke.
oh, it was a
His
stroke.
entire right side is paralyzed.
Oh damn! I thought. Listen, What I was gonna say is, you know why I didn't think it wasn't a stroke, and that's because of The Sopranos when Carmine said, or Carmine Senior said, "I smell burning hair." But what I was going to say is that was a nice little interaction right there between Angela and Richard Harrow. And I wonder if they're developing feelings to one another. Just Richard Harrow having that little moment right there, showing appreciation for the art, or just inquiring about it, something Jimmy does not do. And I don't know, I feel bad for Richard, but just don't go for Angela, please. Don't stuff things up. Don't make it an awkward love scenario again. And I feel like that question that Richard asked to Jimmy, what does it feel like to have everything, is going to be answered as the season goes along. I feel like that was for the audience just as much as it was for Jimmy. Richard's a tragic character, and I absolutely, like I said in episode 2 and 3, someone just give him a hug, man. Like, someone just give him a hug.
He can eat, but so far he's been unable to speak.
Was he agitated? Overexcited in any way?
As I said, I found him like this.
Shouldn't he be in a hospital?
No. No one can care for him like his family.
Yo, imagine Gillian did something to him that
What do you want to say?
brought upon the stroke, but I doubt it. Fuck. Did he get so hard that he had a massive rush of blood and then the stroke happened?
And it suited you, didn't it? Up to this morning.
Up to this morning, the man with the clout wasn't drooling into his pajamas.
You have a cruel streak, Eli. That's never an attractive quality.
He can't even talk.
Lewis is unwell. He's going to recover.
Look at the way she running things, man. She's the dictator now.
How the fuck would you know?
Because Jimmy will handle it.
We're in for 70 grand to his cronies.
They'll get paid back when we unload the booze.
What are you waiting for?
The town's flush, Eli.
Then sell it out of town. New York, Philadelphia?
You want to give me names and addresses, or should I just go door to door?
Why ask me? You both got it all worked out, right?
I'm sorry if I seem heated, baby. It's a difficult time for both of us.
These two are going to get it on. I'm telling you, these two are going to get it on later on. I'm telling you. Some Game of Thrones shit. Watch.
Call for 9 so nobody's expecting a full dinner.
Hors d'oeuvres only. Dancing girls?
Wouldn't be much of a party otherwise, would it?
Fine, then you handle that.
How old is Mayor Beta?
Fuck do I know? What's the difference?
Candles was a cake.
Don't make a production out
Oh, poor Mr. Kessler, man. He asking the right questions.
Tell them to send up some eggs, Florentine. Get me Arnold Rothstein on the phone. Job.
I knew that conversation with Rothstein was going to happen. I talked about it. Who is he going to seek help from?
It has a binding effect.
Is that the best thing right now?
Sound elimination is the basis of good health.
Yo, Rothstein's sick. The Commodore out of it. Hey, God works in mysterious ways.
Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, to what do I owe the pleasure?
A change in my circumstances, as I'm sure you've already heard.
And are we discussing a problem or a proposition?
It depends which side of the phone you're on. I need a port to land some cargo.
I was under the impression Atlantic City was aptly named.
The Coast Guard's locked me down. Can't land a mackerel.
Well, I have an import operation in Montauk.
Long Island. Too far. What about Philadelphia?
We'd have to cut in Waxy Gordon.
I'm listening.
It's my 20%.
And I'll convince Waxy that 20% for him is a fair price also.
Damn. You're only taking 60?
That's a pretty penny, Arnold.
Of course.
My cut includes men to oversee the operation. You remember Mr. Luciano?
Of course, Luciano's involved.
I do.
Then it's settled.
Direct your ships to Philly. Let me know the details.
Hey, fair play. Just like that. Not many arguments.
You've got a new port of call.
That's all right.
I could already feel the brotherly love.
Now, I want to say, I've talked about how dense this show is, and I'm feeling like, no, I'm not feeling the density, but with Nucky himself, I realized that how many problems he has to settle at the moment. Obviously, you got the alcohol issue, him not having a port to land because the Commodore has the Coast Guard in his pockets. You also got the impending or the looming legal case around him as well. And I completely almost forgot about that. That, you know, if the political coup doesn't work with the Commodore and Jimmy, I'm guessing their sort of route was to take him down legally, take him down that way. But it's going to be interesting to see what Nucky does to overcome the legal obstacles. And then once you overcome the legal obstacles, you still got the Commodore and Jimmy at large doing their thing. And then you got this weird thing I forgot about that happened last episode with Van Alden and Mickey. Now, is Mickey intentionally feeding Van Alden information so that he could stay in operation? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. There are so many key players involved that you got to keep everyone in mind constantly as the viewer. And they're all fantastic characters. That's what's great about this show. Like, whenever a character is on screen, I'm not like, oh, go back to this character, please. Every character is absolutely fantastic. And that's what makes it all the more interesting. It's like, there's so many key players. Everyone's got their own strategy. And some of them are obviously in league with one another. Some of them are trying to kill each other. So it's going to be interesting to see like how it all pans out.
I'd like to thank Mr. White for joining us here today. We know how busy he is and how hard he works for our community.
Ain't no matter, Wilfred.
Yes, sir. Now, this is an informal gathering, so we will not adhere to strict parliamentary rule, but if you could, just raise your hands and...
Now, I know y'all got your beefs and various complaints. I hear an earful over the past weeks I've been in jail. I'm back now, and everybody know my door always open.
Mr. White, I don't mean to trouble you.
You ain't never no trouble, Mrs. Mayhew.
There's this couple next door to me. They are habituated to late-night red parties. There's no end to red music being played and unseemly behavior on public view.
Well, you ain't gonna be bothered by none of that from now on.
Oh, bless you, Mr.
Hey, should
White.
someone be scribing this? There's going to be a lot of problems need to be dealt with. Does he have just that good of a memory?
Travis Elkins, sir.
I remember you fine, Travis.
Well, Mr. White, I've been 6 months in the kitchen there at the Ritz.
Ooh.
Near 40 of us on second shift. 12 hours on our feet.
Uh-huh.
Wash our aprons, that come out your pay. Break a cup, that come out your pay. Give us the one meal, if you call it that, it come out your pay too. What they serve us, Mr. White, ain't fit for a dog tied to a stake post, and we working men.
I'll look into that, Travis.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. At the Ritz?
Everybody, enjoy the refreshments. And remember, come July 4th, all y'all invited.
What about my husband?
Okay.
How's that?
Those white men cut his throat while he loading your trucks with your illegal liquor.
Sister, moderation in the Lord's house.
What being done about that?
You'll be looked after. I promise.
You promise. You promise.
My son is dead. I buried the father of my 3 children.
They bring my man home rolled up in a wash bucket.
It's true.
I said it'll be taken care of.
When? How?
Order, ladies, please.
Ain't nobody putting you in charge. You walk around, take a bite off everyone else's plate. Don't give nothing back except the summer clam bake and a Christmas turkey.
Continental Tea Garden, $422.
Yo, is Chalky White like? I might have overestimated what he does for the community, or what he does for the black community in Atlantic City a couple episodes ago, and maybe this might see a change in him. But there's only so much he can do at the moment. Like, he's restricted in a way, and obviously he takes advantage with the dealings, of the illegal dealings he does behind the scenes. but his people are not getting a piece of that. Yeah, the Christmas turkey, that's fine. You do your thing for the people here and there. But yeah, now men are, and our bodies are piling up. Husbands of wives who are now widows. How are you going to take care of that? What are you going to do for that? It's okay taking care of the neighbor problem. And, you know, the Ritz problem right there with the working hours could be a little bit of a stretch. But the husband thing, like, and the families that need taken care of who are now widows, like, that's going to be interesting to see what he does. You know, because he's all out there living his lavish life. Chalky White's doing well for himself. But at the same time, there are others in need. That's his people. And if you're gonna appeal to them as this sort of savior, then you better act like one. And at the moment, yeah, Chalky got a lot of problems on his hand too. He got a lot of food on that plate. He got a lot, you know, at the beginning of the episode, he was asking for more food on his plate, and he got that. He got exactly that. I'm not sure if that was a little bit of foreshadowing at the beginning of the episode in terms of Chalky White asking for more food, and then he ended up getting more food on his plate. Listen, you begged for it. You begged for it. Hey, I told you, God is working in mysterious ways this episode. I'm not gonna lie, this is fantastic.
Though I'm considering suggesting a wage cut across the board.
If I may, my husband has been unable to find employment.
I support a crippled brother. I'm sure you all have hardships, which we've taken into consideration. You'll each find an extra $2 in your pay this week. This week only, ma'am?
That's not gonna suffice for the long run.
As a bonus. I believe it's customary to say thank you.
Nope.
Yes, of course, thank you.
They're gonna turn on you. They're gonna turn. I'm sorry. Like,
What is it, ladies? Speak your minds.
Actually, ma'am, we were expecting a raise in pay.
Whatever for?
Mr. Thompson, a few weeks back, he came in one night in a rather jolly mood.
He told us he was raising our salaries.
Oh.
Forgive me, ma'am, but he may have been drinking.
Well, it's a special kind of fool who relies on the promise of a drunkard.
Whoa!
Now, if there's nothing else.
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To your tasks, then.
I would never have got maids in the first place. Never. Never. I don't see the purpose of them. Like, I feel bad for them in general because, like, just do your own stuff.
Manya, we made it.
Or just don't get a house that big.
Just the fella I call you about, Jimmy Darmody.
Mr. Horvitz. You're Darmody? Oh, she's just a baby.
I thought you liked him, young man.
If we're talking veal, yes. But when it comes to business...
Es freut mich, dich zu kennen.
You speak Yiddish?
That's all I know.
Still, you make an effort. I'm impressed. Already, I feel this is going well. This man looks interesting.
My associate, Mr. Harrow.
What happened to you?
I put my nose where it didn't belong.
You're funny. He's a sweetheart, and Mickey is a gunner from way back. Chaim, introduce yourself.
Herman Kaufman.
All right, Herman.
First in his class at Eastern State. Penitentiary. I'm kidding. Herman only did county time. Can I get you fellas something to eat?
No, but thank you.
You're gonna smell the cooking, and you're gonna get hungry. Avalon, cook is mit melons, you know.
So, what's your pleasure, Mr. Horvitz?
Money. Or Manny. My pleasure? I got a daughter. She's an angel. And my wife, her ankles got thick. But I love her anyway. And Vaxie Gordon is a cocksucking piece of shit.
Why is that?
He's a greedy prick. With his hand in my ass pocket where my wallet should be.
Oh, so Waxy Gordon is the guy in Philly, right? And we're in Philly, and Waxy Gordon is the one that's going to get a cut in. Oh, damn. He's the one that's going to get a cut in on the Rothstein deal with Jimmy. So this is all how it's working together at the moment. So if Waxy Gordon gets taken out of the picture, oh, that's going to be interesting. There's going to be a confrontation.
We got a deal. But just so we're clear, my icebox is filled with pieces of fellas that tried to fuck me over.
I just got creamsicles in mine.
That's not a laughing matter. That's not a laughing matter.
Mr. Harrow will be in touch. Gentlemen?
Hey, it started off very warm. Didn't end that, sir. Didn't end like that. Oh, here we go. What's with the whipping fantasy this episode, man? The punishment stuff. Oh, it's the mayor. The mayor's getting treated for his birthday. Yep, that's right. This is a Bucks night, but he's already married. Yep. You got even the Jewish lawyer there. Yo, you know what I feel like with this show? It don't matter what religion you are, because they're all sinning to the nth degree. Like, that's what it is. Atlantic City is the devil.
Happy birthday, Ed.
Make a wish. This was my wish. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were in the middle of a city council meeting. Jesus, is that who I think it is?
Jesus wouldn't last around. Jack Dempsey, say hello to our esteemed mayor, Edward Bader.
Happy birthday, sir.
I usually keep my trousers on for visiting dignitaries.
Hell, most of the fellas I meet are in their boxing trunks anyhow.
They could have used you a minute ago when they were beating the tar out of them.
I wouldn't tangle with these girls.
Fresh sea air, early morning runs on the beach, not to mention our other natural resources.
Sorry,
Natural
hon, but
re-
we ain't homegrown.
Philadelphia imports.
So I was wondering why I hadn't seen you around.
We've been here since November, sweetie.
Yeah, these are the girls we had trucked in during the election. She was responsible for 1,000 Republican votes, single-handed.
Except it wasn't my hands I was using.
Wait a minute.
Oh, man.
Did you say you girls are from Philadelphia?
What of it?
My friends, you need to have a chat with your lawyer.
That's that interstate stuff.
What's wrong?
Wrong. I just figured a way to get your case dismissed. Moving whores across state lines, that's a federal charge.
Oh, so we played the jurisdiction game. So they didn't file on the right jurisdiction.
Special Agent Van Alden speaking.
Nelson, are you all right?
Rose, yes, I'm fine, dear. What's wrong?
I called your boarding house 5 times last night.
That seems excessive.
They said you no longer lived there.
That what? That's ridiculous. There are some very important matters I need to attend to.
Please try to get some rest.
I will. Take care and God bless.
Damn, man. Damn. That relationship, I feel so sorry for him.
Making progress. Slow but sure.
Slow don't cut it with 4 of my boys in an unmarked grave.
Their families will be compensated.
This ain't about money, Nucky. It's about revenge.
Money don't solve all issues.
Ghost riding motherfuckers.
You need to sit tight with that.
Oh, I've been sitting tight. My ass sore.
Well, those silk cushions ought to help.
You keep making this about money.
It's always about money. It took a lot of cash for my lawyer to get you out, Chalky. That fella you have is inept.
Did I not say thank you?
You could thank me by being a good boy.
Hey, man. He's pushed for
my word.
He's pressed for his own matters as well, man. I know Nucky
Save
pressed.
your strength and enjoy your family.
How am I supposed to do that? I got 4 other families.
Exactly.
Waiting on me for justice.
You're not the only one looking to settle scores.
But that's the problem. Lend him a hand in the meantime, something.
These are your sworn depositions.
You can't keep walking out on him like that because it ain't gonna end well.
Last November, with the express purpose of performing sexual favors for certain gentlemen in order to influence their voting blocks.
You fucked people to sway their votes.
Sure we did.
Couple factory owners, some union reps.
Then this accurately reflects your understanding of events as they occurred.
Sure, I suppose.
I think Chucky doesn't realize how important of an ally Chalky White is. So, and I talk about it in a lot of my reactions. Chalky White is essential to have. Not only I feel like for the vote as well coming forward, but just for the behind the scenes activities. You got a whole community right there. And I think, yeah, Nucky walking out on Chalky like that, or, you know, the way he keeps delaying taking care of those families, or taking care of the revenge arc, or not the revenge arc, but, you know, I know it's a long process, right? I know there's a lot of factors to take into account, and Chalky White is one of them, but, you know, there are other matters that need to be dealt with, and both of them have a lot on their plate at the moment, but I just feel like Nucky doesn't realize how important Chalky is, and he's not even lending him a bone. He's not even lending him a hand. Like, Chalky White is only going to bite the bullet for long enough before he goes to help from another individual, before he maybe makes a deal with the Commodore or someone else. You never know. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because there's only, like I said, there's only so much Chalky White can put up with. And I know him and Nucky have a great relationship, and Nucky's done so much for him. But yeah, Chalky White in this matter, I feel like is right, because his hands are tied. He can't do much for those families, because if he wages war on the Ghost Man, like he can't do that all by himself. Like, it's going to end in bloodshed, and you don't want bloodshed at the moment, and you don't want to draw attention, especially in the media at the moment, and Nucky's as hot as it is already. So
The charges keep piling up.
Well, it's not like he doesn't have it coming.
Richard Harrow. Oh, she drawing. He modeling for her. See, that doesn't look like a pleasant wedding photo. I know, but like, I know it's the 1920s, but come on, man. Smile!
There's love. And then there's everything else.
I'm sorry. Am I allowed to talk?
Doesn't hinder me.
She has to get that detail right between the mask and the real eye.
Have you ever been in love?
I have a sister. A twin.
Oh!
Her name is Emma.
Where does she live?
Over Wisconsin. We grew up on a farm. There were no other children of our age. We spent every moment together.
Aww.
Inseparable.
We milked cows, baled hay, fished.
See, they used that same shot last episode. Watch.
Inseparable.
They cut to this same shot last episode, and I talked about the beautiful wide long shot they used, where I think it was episode 2 or 3, I can't remember, when, you know, Jimmy was talking with Al Capone, I believe. No, Jimmy was talking with Gillian. Oh, Jillian. He was talking with Jillian, and she was doing his nails. And Angela came in from the same left-hand side of the other doors here, and she was holding the washing, I believe. And, you know, I was talking about how Jimmy was up close and personal with Gillian, but the framing and the divide in the design of the house, and obviously the dividing of the rooms right there, I think showcased how further apart Jimmy and Angela really are, and he's keeping Gillian in the loop on things with obviously the political coup, but Angela's distance from that. She's not in on it. He doesn't confide in her in anything, or any matter, like any of his dealings with his work and stuff like that. And they just used this same frame right here as last episode, or the episode before. Sorry, I can't remember exactly when it was used, but I think it's from the right hand side of the room. The other one was from the left hand side of the room. It's the same placement. They just changed the angle of, like, or the angle of where the camera is at in in the room itself, in the living room. And it's Richard Harrow in the right-hand side of the frame, and Angela, again, is in the left-hand side of the frame. But in a way, even though they're distant here and they're divided, I feel like they're getting real personal and close with one another here. They're opening up to one another. These are conversations Angela likes to have. I'm probably reading too much into it, but I just like it. Visual storytelling.
Hell, hey, fish. She taught me how to cook.
That's sweet.
Whatever love is, that's what I felt for Emma.
Do you visit her often?
When I came back from the war, she nursed me and gave me morphine to keep the pain at bay. Despite my injuries, she treated me no different. I was her brother.
Big up Emma.
The closest person in her life. But suddenly, I felt different toward her. I would stare at her and feel nothing. I lost whatever I thought love was. When my wounds healed, I moved to Chicago to get lost there.
Fuck!
I haven't spoken to her since.
I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for him. And in a way, I feel like, I know Angela's feeling sorry for Richard here, but in a way, I wonder if she's feeling that way towards Jimmy at the moment, because maybe Jimmy lost the idea of what love was when he returned to the war, similar to how, you know, Richard couldn't look at his sister the same again. Yo, the actor who plays Richard, big him up. Yo, these two have a connection, man. These two have a connection.
Constable Station in Tipperary.
And there's an inevitable showdown, I feel like, between Owen and Richard. And I like both of them.
The cause. A message for the crown. And after that, it was our mission to execute a bombing a week. Lorries, sentries, British quarters, post offices, even a rectory.
They both have their perks, man. Owen and Richard.
This is what you used.
Gelignite. Blasting gelatin used in quarries.
That's why, obviously, Richard, you know, has no issue killing other individuals. I said he's a cold-blooded killer. He has no love for anyone anymore. Like, if he's able to feel it, it will be a miracle. But for those he kills, there's no sympathy towards him. Like, he don't care. He don't care. Like, if he's instructed to do it, he'll do it. No feelings attached, baby.
For mining. See, it doesn't sweat. Like you and I.
You can see Owen really enjoying this.
But it won't leak nitroglycerin like dynamite. It's more stable and easy to transport. Detonators.
Because you know, his skills are finally being put to use. He's not at the casino.
It won't bite.
Well, what is it?
Blasting caps filled with mercury and chloride of potash.
Now, what are we bombing again?
Someone's going out of business.
Oh, okay.
Mickey Doyle.
Oh, damn.
Here you go.
We're talking, Benny.
Oh, so I should tell him to go fuck a duck?
Enough of the crazy shit already.
AR's here, baby. AR's here.
Bring him in before he breaks the house.
Mr. Rothstein?
Hey, did you come to sit in?
You know you're always welcome. I'm afraid those shoppers out there would fleece me.
Do you think he knows what his two little minions are up to? Going behind his back?
Anybody could ride shotgun until you encounter Indians.
We're honored by your trust, they are. And flattered that you would come below 14th Street to discuss it personally. Aren't we, Charlie?
Sure. As it happens, I was down here having dinner with Joe Masseria, who left me with a distinct impression he'd still like both of you dead.
But with that prick.
We were served a native dish of tripe, which I cannot abide. But I ate it anyway, to keep the peace. Some things, Charlie, you just have to swallow.
Crazy, because they didn't even kill Mezzalia's, his nephew, sorry. Mezzalia? They didn't even kill his nephews, but it's on them either way.
Adeline, can you bring the biscuits, please?
Everyone take
Oh,
your
so
places, please.
we are getting the dinner scene. Okay.
I want to welcome Samuel to our table
Thank you, Mrs. White. And Mr. White.
and ask that he lead us in the saying of grace.
I'd be honored, man.
I feel sorry for the kid because it's chalky.
Lord,
That a duck?
Yes, Albert, of course it is. Please, Mr. Crawford.
Lord, we
I
thank you.
thought I asked for Hoppin' John.
See,
There's duck, peas, carrots, fresh baked biscuits.
I made chocolate pudding for dessert.
We'd like to thank you for the
I asked a question.
Albert,
oh my
please.
god. Albert, chalky!
She made that pudding all by herself.
Not now, man.
With a damn Hoppin' John.
Albert, you know that's not proper food for a guest. Now let's allow Samuel to finish.
Come on, Albert. Stay composed.
Lord, we come
Well,
together.
maybe our guests would have liked some.
Oh, I have always enjoyed that type of food, sir.
What type of food?
Well, my grandma would make it.
I feel bad for the kid,
I say
man.
something funny, son.
I feel so bad for the kid.
Pardon?
You laughing?
This is
What's the joke?
This is that Tony Soprano situation in season 5 and 6 where you let your external affairs, you let your activities outside the family seep into the family life. You got to sometimes put on a face, man. I know it's hard for Chalky in this moment right here because there's a lot going on in his mind. There's a lot on his plate, despite his plate being empty right here. But you can't let it seep into this moment. This is a moment for the family. It's a moment for your daughter, man. And yeah, sometimes you just got, even if it's for 10, 15 minutes, however long the dinner lasts, you gotta put on a smile. You gotta put on your friendly face. You gotta act like Chalky White without the issues. It's hard, I know, but
Poppin' John's, Albert. You're being ridiculous.
it's awkward to watch. It's hard.
Eating rice and beans all my life. Tell me it ain't good enough.
You'll have to forgive my husband's country ways.
I completely understand, man.
It's my house. And my country ways put the food on this goddamn table.
Albert, you're drunk.
Not a good look for the little kids, man. Come on, man. Think about your daughter. Think about
Sir, I apologize. I'll leave.
You stay right where you are, son. Right there.
Yo, Michael Kenneth Williams always
Inside the house.
he always acting like, yo, the Emmy is right there on the table.
Pretty clear who the field nigga is.
Now, really, I'm gonna have to, bleep that out. Oh, yo, we're still going into the night here. Oh, that's right. Jimmy's still in Philadelphia.
This isn't what I look like.
Yes.
Is it expensive?
The drawing?
I can pay for it.
No. No, It's yours. If you want it.
My bad. He's not in. He's not in Philly.
Ange, you home?
In here.
Tomorrow, we're gonna need to go to Philly for that delivery. Okay. Good night. You sad for you?
That's so surprising.
Hey, sometimes you need a woman's touch, man.
I don't know. I'm never sure what's going on inside him.
Sometimes you just have to ask.
I gotta hand it to Icky. This was a great idea. The whole thing was a setup.
I mean, Fleming helped too, of course.
It's not pride, it's happiness. I violated the Mann Act. It prohibits the interstate transportation of females for immoral purposes. It's a federal law, which means the entire election case can be rolled into a federal indictment.
So the Attorney General can help.
Exactly.
We can pull strings, that means.
This is how things work, Margaret. You know that.
See? We brought it up to our playing field. And we can manipulate our playing field.
These women, if that's what you're worried about.
I believe you.
The tide's turning, I'll tell you that much. I'd love to see the look on the
I
Commodore.
need $100. Clothes for the children.
Very well.
She's probably going to give it to the maids.
Where are you going?
Off to bed.
I'll be up in a while.
It's owned by a widow, but rented by a fella named Mickey Doyle. Van
Yeah.
Oldham arrested him last year for bootlegging.
Yeah, I reckon that $100 she's gonna use sparingly over time to possibly give the maids that pay rise on the side, on the hush hush, because they got the wage cut. That $100 can last a little while, and by the time she's spread that $100 out and used it thin, she can ask for another $100.
This is the place. This is it.
Oh, they were about to bomb Mickey Doyle's. It's about to get blown up.
Smell that?
Agents.
There's a still in there. I don't see the point of this. We're pro-heat, Stan. We're gonna make an arrest.
Good luck. There's a bomb in there.
You think it is Van Alden will have our heads. Then we'll arrest him too.
It could mean your life. These guys' life could
Go
take.
check around back.
Yo, their lives could get taken out here, man. There's a timer on that bomb. Yep, there we go. Ah. Man. We got Richard Harrow, the Prohibition version. Wait till Van Alden finds out about this. And I just want Chalky White and his family to be happy. Oh, she taking lessons from the other girl. I forgot her name. Remember the other girl that had 4,000 stashed behind the mattress? She's taking lessons and making sure it's not behind the mattress, but in the jewelry box. She's saving up money on the side. Is that for a rainy day? Because potentially Nucky could get taken down? At least the family's happy and at least the, the boyfriend to be is... Okay, I thought it was all doom and gloom, but it's okay. It seemed like they carried on without Chalky. Bro, he got that look in his... Oh, no.
That's it.
What's he making there?
One last bite.
Making a
Louis,
spear?
dear, you need nourishment. Do you remember when we met?
Bro,
I'll never forget your smile.
he picked you when you were like 12.
He has it. I look at him and I see you. That first night, how you plied me with wine. Well, I'd never felt such a sensation.
He was
We were
13 or 12, man.
And I'd fallen asleep on the divan. You carried me to the bedroom, went to say goodnight to your guests. And I lay there in bed, dreaming of the waves. I'd been on the beach that day. Suddenly, I felt a crushing feeling. I couldn't breathe. I opened my eyes to find you atop me. Your breath smelling of whiskey and tobacco. One hand covering my mouth. And the other groping at me. Do you remember that?
You're filth, Commodore. You're absolute filth.
Still,
Scum of the earth.
sometimes when I sleep, it wakes me with a start.
Of course, man. That shit scars you forever.
Do you remember that?
You're traumatized. That is so deserved. Even more.
I asked you a question.
Yo, she gonna slap the paralyzation out of him. Damn! Damn! She laid the smackdown on his ass. Hey, that is entirely deserved because that was a 666666666 story right there. The Commodore, obviously, like, I don't want to say it because of demonetization. I mean, these videos already get limited revenue because of the content matter of the show. But yeah, the Commodore himself, R-word, 12-year-old / 13-year-old girl, like Gillian, sorry. And listen, you start to understand why she's the tragic character she is in this older age. We know she had Jimmy at such a young age, but when you start to unpack it, when you start to get these reveals as well, and the fact she had to raise a child at 13 by herself. Yes, obviously she had to help her Nucky, but listen, she didn't have a childhood. She didn't have parents to upbring her. She didn't have parents to teach her morals and values. So she's without that. She's without that for the last 20 years or however old she is now at the moment. So that's why she's the woman she is to be. And I kind of understand why she acts the way she does. Is it right what she's doing sometimes? No, clearly not. And that's because she had She had no upbringing. She had no life. Her life was cut short. And obviously it was a traumatic experience. So like, you feel sorry for these characters for what they've been through. Jimmy himself as well, having to be raised by a 13-year-old mother, a father in the Commodore who never wanted to be there, Nucky as this father figure himself who doesn't have the fondest memory. Like, it's a domino effect. Nucky himself doesn't have the fondest memory of his father and how he treated him. So in a way, he couldn't provide Jimmy the right upbringing as a father because he doesn't know what it's like to have a great father, a father who raises his family right. So it's a domino effect that goes along. And yeah, you have highlights with the characters. You have these moments. But at the same time, they're all corrupted, man. Like they're all corrupted in some way, and it's sad to see. So yeah, I don't know how to like explain it. Like this show is dense with tragic characters all across the board. So yeah, I understand. Listen, what they do is not right. It's like I said, this show is riddled with sin. It's riddled with the devil, man. But yeah, I understand Jimmy coming from the war for being in the war for 2-3 years, seeing what he's seen, and in a way paralleling what happened to Richard Harrow. Richard Harrow coming from the war, and him being, the closest he ever was to his sister. Similar in a way, maybe not as close as Jimmy was to Angela, but, having that love like Jimmy had with Angela, and coming back from the war and not being able to reciprocate that with your very own sister who you spent your entire life with. No one else was on the farm. You had the closest of closest bonds, but the war took that away from you. The war changes you. And a lot of characters in the show fail to understand that with Jimmy. They expect him to move on from the war. Obviously, at the time, because due to the time this show was set in, they obviously had certain expectations of veterans who came from the war, or soldiers who survived the war. Listen, yeah, you were expected to just, ease into normal life straight away, straight after you coming home. And yeah, we know today that is definitely not the case. There is no time limit on men being able to be implemented into, or like men being able to thrive in normal society after the war, and some never do. Some are never the same again. And you could make a case for Richard Harrow not really living in normal society at the moment because he came straight from the war, wasn't able to look at his sister the same way again, went to Chicago, and now has tied himself in with this underworld of Atlantic City and the crime that's going on. That's not normal life. That's not having a family with kids. This game they're in, this life they are living, doesn't allow you to do that in a way. And Richard's caught up in the middle of it, and it's sad. Yeah, I'm rambling on too much at the end here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. I need to get episode 3 ready for the triple upload. It's been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.